Hi guys!
Assalamu alaikum.
I'm Zara
And I'm Suki.
and today we're going to react to
Do Filipinos speak Spanish?
Yeah.
This was our question
Yeah.
in the last video, because we asked you do you speak Spanish or English or just Filipino?
Yeah.
And some of you told us watch this video and you will know why we don't speak Spanish. Some of you told us that you don't speak Spanish, so let's see.
Yo vivo en México y cuando la gente me escuchan hablar en español, todos piensan que en Filipinas hablamos español, pero no.
She speaks really well Spanish, by the way. She has a good accent.
We can understand Spanish because we are studying Spanish.
Yeah.
So basically you don't speak Spanish.
Y a ver si traigo mi pasaporte. No, es muy grande.
¿Qué país eres?
Filipinas.
Philippines.
The Philippines was a former Spanish colony, right? So how come we don't speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Or do we? Prior to colonization, the area now known as the Philippines was a group of islands connected by water. Independent, advanced, socially complex, and ethno-linguistically distinct communities ruled by respective tribal leaders. Most of the time, peacefully coexisted with each other. Trade with neighboring nations to the north, like China, Japan, and Taiwan, and to the south, like Malaysia and Indonesia, was commonplace. When Fernando de Magallanes arrived in 1521, he united all islands into one nation under the Spanish crown and named it Las Filipinas after Philip II of Spain. From then on, the Philippines came under Spain's control and sphere of influence, slowly but surely for the next 333 years. The archipelago used to be Spain's primary foothold in Asia.
Yes, from what we know, you were dominated by Spanish, and after for so many years, and after by the United States.
But I think America had Philippines.
From
Japan.
German.
No.
From Japan. Yeah, from Japan.
Yeah.
But yes, you were dominated from Spain for so many years.
Yeah.
So this is really strange that you don't talk Spanish.
Yeah.
For example, in Morocco was dominated by France, and by Spanish too. And yes, in Morocco we do speak Arabic, our official language, first language, but we also speak French.
Yes, but not all people like.
A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people speak French, but not everyone.
Yes,
like us. We don't speak French. We don't speak French.
We understand, but we can't speak.
Due to the Philippines' unique geography.
But I think because also we didn't grow up in Morocco.
We grew up here in Italy.
Yeah.
Because young people in Morocco, a lot of them, like so many of them, can talk French. And in the north of Morocco, we speak we speak Spanish. Not a lot of people, but many of them they speak Spanish because we were dominated by Spanish.
But also because it's more close to Spain, like 1 kilometer, maybe. Something like that.
1 kilometer? No. It's
half an hour from Spain.
Yeah, it's far from Spain for half an hour.
Yeah, half an hour.
Let's go back to Philippines.
Practical location. Not only did it become an important base for the empire's stake in the profitable spice trade, it was also a strategic location for conducting commerce from the Americas to the Far East. What else? Surprise, surprise! Most towns and cities also have Hispanic names. You've got the obvious ones, towns being named after places.
Yeah. We noticed that you have a lot of Spanish names. Yeah, like Puerto Princesa,
El Nido,
yeah.
Laguna.
Yeah.
Peninsular Spain and towns
Isabella.
named after saints.
Juan.
Yeah, also your names. So many of you have the Spanish names.
Yeah.
We noticed that. And this is my question. How did you feel, or what do you think about the Spain that dominated your country?
Yeah.
Like, are you angry, or it is not important for you, or it is okay? What do you think?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Spain dominated your country?
Yeah.
Anyone here from Nueva Vizcaya, Nueva Ecija, Pamplona Negros, Córdoba, Cebu? I bet you've at least been once to a place named Santa Cruz, San Pablo, or San Nicolas. Another thing worth mentioning is that having a Hispanic last name or a Hispanic sounding is that having a Hispanic last name.
Why Filipinos have Spanish sounding last names?
Yes.
Or a Hispanic sounding last name is a norm.
Find your family name in this catalog of historical surnames from the Spanish colonial era. Family are stuck with surnames like Papoy and Gabi.
I can bet you that the top
Garcia, Martinez, Rodriguez, Fernandez, Sanchez, Lopez, Martin, Perez, Gonzalez, Mohamed. Also Mohamed.
But Perez, Sanchez,
Garcia,
Lopez, Rodriguez are really typical Spanish name and surname. Yeah.
Yeah. We know some artists like Miguel Garcia.
Yeah. I don't remember his name. Perez. Anyway, I can't remember.
Fernandez also, yeah. But Mohammed is an Arabic Muslim name.
Yeah,
surname.
but Spain was dominated by Spanish people.
Philippines.
And by Muslim people.
Really?
Yeah, Arab people.
But wait a minute.
They were Arab.
The Philippines was dominated by the Spain.
Yeah, but
the Spain also was dominated by Arabs. So okay.
Mohammed is
maybe they took something from there.
Last names are all Hispanic in origin. I can tell you how many Cruces, Santoses, Reyeses, Garcias, Mendozas, Bautistas that I know. If you're from the Philippines, leave a comment below on what do you think is the most common surname, or in Tagalog, apellido.
Yeah, we want to know too, so please tell us.
Yeah, you are asking if they can tell us their surnames.
Yeah.
Okay. That will be interesting.
Not only the surname, but also
the name.
The most common surname
in the Philippines.
The Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apellido. To streamline government processes like census and tax collection, and to further strengthen their rule, Spanish colonizers enacted a law making it mandatory for everyone to adopt a surname. There was literally a catalog where people can choose Spanish or local surnames from. Most of the indigenous lowland population and some Chinese immigrants as well chose to change their last names to Hispanic last names, probably believing that this change might benefit them. Food? Oh yes, you've got afritada, caldereta, menudo, mechado, longaniza, picadillo, arroz caldo, tocino, tapa, even adobo. The list goes on. There are roughly around 4,000 Spanish loan
So you have a lot of dishes from Spain.
Yeah.
Okay.
words in Tagalog, the most spoken dialect in the country.
Tagalog.
And roughly around 6,000 in Bisaya, another widely spoken dialect. Lots of words are spelled differently or bastardized, and lots of phrases are used in a different context. These two dialects in particular, because the regions where it's most widely spoken were centers of Spanish governance, which are Manila and Cebu.
Manila.
75. Gracias. Almost everyone in the Philippines knows how to count in Spanish up to 100, and they don't even know it. Así que, por ejemplo, nosotros también contamos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The way we say the time.
So you can count in Spanish even though you can't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
That's cool.
In the Philippines is also the same. Por ejemplo, les doy un ejemplo, digamos a la 1, a las 2, a las 3. Ese es un ejemplo de frase en Filipinas. Anong oras na? A la 1 na ma. Days of the week and months are also...
So like
the Filipino, the language it sounds like a mix of Spanish and English.
Yeah, and also like I think the origin like of Philippines language,
the
Filipino language.
Yeah. It is a mix because when you talk, when they talk, it sounds like
because she said una, 1. Like when she said it's 1 o'clock, she said una,
2, 3.
Yeah.
The same. Nosotros también digamos enero, febrero, marzo.
So enero, febrero, marzo.
But the spelling is different.
Las letras son diferentes. Por ejemplo, en marzo escribimos con S en vez de Z.
Okay.
Words related to kitchenware or cooking are also similar. Por ejemplo, los cubiertos, digamos igual, tenedor, cuchara, cuchillo, mesa, silla, casi todos los sustantivos, la verdad. And are things in relation to law and governance. And then there's Chavacano, a Spanish-based Creole language widely spoken in the Zamboanga region. Brief history. In the hopes of further uniting the archipelago under Christianity and under their sphere of influence, the Spaniards established Zamboanga as a foothold in the predominantly Muslim South. A means to communicate is needed between the locals and the Spaniards. In many cases, some Spaniards will learn the local language to gain trust and establish a connection with the local population. But in this case, a grammatically simplified form of a language used for communication between two people not sharing common language was established. This is what you call a bidin, which then eventually turned into Chavacano. Although spelling of words may differ, it is very similar that a person speaking Chavacano can sufficiently and aptly converse to a Spanish-speaking person. Filipinos. Aquí está nuestra guía. ¿Qué es eso? Ahorita, ¿a qué te refieres? During Spain's 333-year-long rule, Spanish was, of course, a widely spoken language. It was even officially considered a national language alongside English and Tagalog, until it officially wasn't in 19...
Okay, so the Philippine language is Tagalog.
Yeah.
And we have Spanish and English. Okay.
Yeah.
Tagalog.
But they co-feature, I can think they are co-feature languages, are Tagalog and English. Okay. And then there is Spanish, but not all people can speak in Spanish. Like few of you guys speak Spanish, but it's impressive because you have...
You can count in Spanish even though you don't know Spanish.
And I think I heard before that she said that sometimes like you speak in Spanish but you don't know that you are speaking Spanish. So
wow, that's cool.
It's really in your language nowadays.
After 300 years of rule, you'd think Spanish would be widely spoken across the country today like it is in most Latin American countries, but no. For almost a century now, English has been the country's lingua franca. What happened? First of all, the majority of the indigenous population of the Philippines remained intact. Unlike in Latin America, where the indigenous population was wiped out not only by the colonizers, but also by imported diseases. Furthermore, because of the Philippines' relative distance and isolation from the rest of the Spanish colonies, not a lot of Spanish people emigrated to the archipelago. Next, in terms of literacy and education, during the Spanish colonial period, as it is today, it is a privilege only reserved for those in the upper class of Philippine society, meaning Spanish-born immigrants, also known as Peninsulares, Philippine-born Spanish people, also known as Insulares, and half Filipino, half Spanish people, also known as mestizos, basically a minority of the population. In the greater part of colonial rule, the majority of the population didn't have access to education. Despite developing a public school system towards the latter part of colonial rule, the masses still were not able to adequately express themselves in Spanish and were still more comfortable in their native tongue. To add to that,
I think
that's why
it's not a problem just like in the Philippines. Like in the past, not everyone has the access of
to study.
Yeah, to study.
School.
Yeah, so I think that
I think that's why the Spanish in the Philippines didn't how can I say,
didn't speak today Spanish.
Yeah.
Throughout all the years of colonial rule, everyday transactions of the masses were conducted in the native language.
That's good that you still
Yeah.
talk your language,
Yeah.
Tagalog. It's really good.
Big
Yeah.
picture, there really was no true social and cultural and linguistic assimilation that happened in the Philippines. Towards the end of the Spanish colonial rule, a strong sense of nationalism also emerged in the Philippines, mainly propagated by the Filipino Spanish-speaking, mostly European-educated class, aka Ilustrados. Filipinos long to distinguish themselves from their...
I think that like I agree if a country can speak like a lot of languages. I agree with that because also in Morocco we speak in French, we speak in Spanish, we speak Amazigh,
Arabic.
Berber language. We speak Arabic, but I think like if in Morocco one day we don't speak like not anymore Arabic, I will not feel good because
I will be angry.
Yeah, because Arabic is our first language.
Native.
With also Amazigh, it's a Berber language, and I think it's okay to
preserve.
I think it's
preserve.
important to preserve like your first
Native
language,
tongue.
your native
Language.
your original language, and then yes, you can learn
Other languages.
their colonizers. So when did the transition to English begin? Well, to begin with, Spain ceded the Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico to the United States in 1898 under the Treaty of Paris. This means American dominance in the archipelago henceforth. The Americans also set out to establish a Philippine public school system and a system of governance mirrored after the American systems, all of course anchored in English. The masses now have access to learn a language more than their native tongue. The rest is history, as they say. At the early stages of American colonization, Filipinos ate up American hegemony, and they still do. The American dream is still strong amongst Filipinos. Just look at the Filipinos.
Yeah, you told us that a lot of Filipinos are in America and Canada and
Italy.
Yeah, but especially in America and like you immigrate a lot in America, and I think you do the nurse job.
Nurses.
Yeah.
You study medicine.
Yeah.
Like something.
In America, so it's impressive.
So guys, you can speak English, right? So a lot of you, or just a few, just a few people can talk English.
But because like when there was Spanish domination, not all of people has the access to get education. Yeah, but when America dominated Philippines, like a lot of people
have access to their study.
Diaspora all across 50 American states.
Yeah. Here.
Look at the Filipino diaspora all.
Filipinos will feel state shortage. Yeah, I remember that. So
good, Fatima.
Yeah.
Across 50 American states. In the Philippines, American pop culture still reigns supreme. Consumer behavior is still mostly dictated by what's trendy in the United States. If you have any other ideas as to why Filipinos don't speak Spanish, please share your insights in the comment box below and share your thoughts. It's kind of a...
Yes, thank you. If you have other reasons, tell us, guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Pena, como digamos en español, because what if we spoke Spanish? What would be our life and economy right now?
Yeah.
But I think that's
a good question.
Yeah. But I think that it's great that you preserve
your native
still today your native language.
Tagalog.
Yeah. Because like she said in Latin America Latina.
Yeah, Latin America,
Yeah.
Latina. They
They-
speak Spanish.
Yeah, because they had their
They lost
their languages, because I think
Native
there
languages.
were
They
were
like
more than
1,000
1,000 languages, but they lost their languages because the Spanish
Spain.
the Spanish domination was really
Rude,
strict and
hard.
rude and hard. So they lost their languages, and I think it's really sad, because like I think nowadays they don't have their language, because they don't have their language. They also lost their identities, because
But yeah, we know all this because we studied this in the university. We
Yeah.
had an exam and we studied about the America Latina or
Yeah.
Latin America, and we studied about the Spain that dominated America Latina and how hard, harsh, difficult and sad it was, and they lost their native language,
their identity.
their culture,
Yeah.
everything. They lost everything. So this is really sad,
Yeah.
and we are happy, glad that Philippines preserve their native language
Yeah.
and culture and everything.
Yeah.
So this video was really good. Thank you for suggesting us this video. Now we know why in the Philippines you don't speak
Yeah.
Spanish, even though you can count in Spanish. But there are many Spanish foods. You have many Spanish
Yeah.
foods, and you have many Spanish
Names in
surnames.
Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And,
thank you.
Thank you for
And
watching our video.
see you in the next reaction.
Goodbye.